workaholics day. Abraham. Okay. I like to talk about more about this vibrational grid and how we let go and just create it. More about how we let go and then create what you want, this deliberate creation.
We want to say to all of you, you're getting a little carried away with this grid thing. In the sense that you're trying to turn it into that tangible thing again.
Yeah.
When we've been trying to guide you to this emotional, in other words, we know that the tangible stuff is nice and you like to be able to visualize stuff. But we just want to ask you if you can can you feel the distinction between feeling something and seeing something? And we know you've been visualizing this grid. Yeah. And so for some of you, it's a beautiful man that's just made out of wires. And for some of you, it's a beautiful car that's just made out of wires. And in other words, this three-dimensional grid that you're making, now you're wanting to fill it in with flesh and blood and personality and stuff like that. But you're still sort of getting off the track of it just a little bit, in that it's an emotional basis that we're wanting you to establish. And so it's like talking about what you want and why you want it is the surest route to getting that into place.
Yes.
And then, of course, you have to understand that once you establish that, you'll be in the vortex, and once you're in the vortex, you'll begin to have revelations of it, so it will begin to fill itself in more. But visualization is a really wonderful thing. We're just asking you to hold off on your effort at visualizing until you're sure that you're in the vortex. And when you're sure you're in there, then there's no effort in visualizing. It's like the pictures just draw themselves in your own mind.
That's what I want. That's it.
Good.
It's it.
So what topic do you want to build a grid?
Yes, because I have come through the teachings to be pleased and happy with what I have. That's big. And now I see that I can create even more.
Yes.
That I can follow my own passion now rather than fitting into a system and doing good in the system. I can and create by following a no system that is more free and
good words. And so give us a brief description of the more that you are currently seeking.
Well, I have been in this, my friend would say, working for the man, in a job, and now I like to create my own. I like to
be self-employed. Self-employed, self-empowered, self-directed.
Yes.
So the grid just sort of showed up, didn't it? In other words, self-empowered, and we are appreciating your words because we didn't feel any freedom from bondage, even though you said the man.
Because my friends call it the man. You're leaving the man. I'm
we knew it was a joyful expression more than it was a pushing against something.
Yes.
And so there was no resistance in it. So there's the beginning of all of that. And now we want you to say why I want it. Why I love the idea of self-employment because
in this I am going to be able to follow my own passion and then help others to follow their passion.
All right, now that's all pure too, but there's another piece in it that feel for it. Well, freedom is sort of freedom from bondage, and so go light on that. But following your passion, there's no resistance in that. But there was a piece of it that is right there for you to feel or to articulate or to add to the grid, and that is, I like to follow my own passion.
Yes.
I like the adventure of this self-discovery.
Yes.
And can you also say, because it feels so natural to me, it just feels like the next logical step.
It does.
Now all of that is just pure. Can you feel it? In other words, there's no resistance in any of that. So you've got a really good thing going. So I love the idea of self-employment, self-empowerment, self-prosperity. So me getting to define what comes, how much comes, when it comes, me getting the fun of all of that, because, now add the why to that, because
I can now create from my center. I can I feel I could fly with this. I'll be lighter in my life.
Now this is really good. You see how not tangible she is? She's not even hardly making any sense. She's going to fly. But the emotional basis is exactly right. Can you feel it? The emotional basis is exactly right. She's not trying to turn it into a reality. She's just using it as an excuse to feel good right now. It's exactly right.
Yes.
It's exactly
Yes,
right, you
it
see.
is.
So continue to play with it as long as it is pleasing you. So what else? I love the idea of self-empowerment
Yes.
because
then I'm free. I can create just out of.
Because the discovery, because the fleshing out of my power is just so very much fun. Because I've always known my power, and to be able to see it flesh out and fill in is just the most satisfying thing I can think of. Now, feel how we weren't specific. We didn't talk about how or where or when or who. Just reveled in the feeling of it. You're right there. In other words, this grid is really taking on a very strong framework. Can you feel? And now, really, you've done enough with that.
Yes.
This conversation is enough. It is enough in place. There is absence of resistance within it. You're in the vortex about it. And now, because you have discovered deliberately the vibrational reality, the manifestation, the emotional manifestation, now other things will begin to follow, and they will reveal themselves to you. Ideas will come, you begin to meet people, and all you got to do is just revel in each little piece as it comes, which you are particularly good at because you are always making peace with where you are. You've already been practicing reveling in things as they are, appreciating them as they are. So now as you just appreciate these next things that begin showing themselves to you, you're off and running.
I'm running. Thank you so much.
Didn't take long for that manifestation to show up, did it? A room full of people applauding you, on your side, reveling in what they know that you know. Yes, indeed.
Hello, Abraham. I've been doing the hard work of being happy. And it's the most amazing experience. I thank you so much.
Why do you call it hard work?
Because on a CD, that's the way you put it.
So you haven't really found it hard, though.
No, it's been joyful. That was supposed to be funny. It was funny when you said it. The last several months, I've been noticing that I've been thinking thoughts that I have never thought before in my life. I've noticed.
So you're rendezvousing with them in the vortex. In other words,
apparently
they are revealing themselves to you because of your happy basis.
Yes. I've had thoughts about what terrific experiences I had even in my early education, the personal freedom I had as a kid to ride my bicycle down to Lake Michigan or whatever. And now I love to dance, so now I have Pandora radio, so while I'm making supper and canning and so forth, I can dance to Sam Cooke and doo-wop. I want to know when Morris is coming back.
In a conversation a few days ago, a man was talking about his cat who had been gone for a month or two and wanted to know what to do about it. And we talked about finding that happy place, and he did. And then before Esther got home, there was an email for her that the cat was there when he got home. So tell us this story.
Morris was a walk-up, and we fell in love with her and had many experiences. And she would come into the kitchen, and I would swoop her up, and I'd hold her upside down so she had to look at me. And we would dance to the doo-wop. And sometimes it got kind of loud, and
we were going to say Morris didn't really like the music.
Well, she loved it. I mean, you could feel her purring, her vibrating, and her ears would be back. So somehow she trusted me, and
it was a love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Well, she's out shopping for a new body, and I want her to hurry up and come back.
Well, the most important thing to realize is that, especially, the beasts are so interesting. And we touched on it earlier about how they come into their bodies and achieve full maturity, and in and out and in and out and in and out. They have no resistance to that. And so it is a very easy thing in your appreciation. You were just telling us how happy you are and how easy it is for you to go back and even rework your childhood and pick out the nuggets of it that are the most delicious. And so we encourage you to just pick out the nuggets of that experience and hold them in your vibrational grid. And before you know it, sooner than you are even wanting to allow yourself to believe, you will recognize this returning energy. It is certain. It is certain. It's one of the most wonderful things about the beasts that move through your life experience. They have the ability to, you're wanting us to hurry up? They teach you two very important things. First, they teach you that there is no death. And then they teach you that there is returning life again and again and again and again. They help to blur the lines and soften your resistance about that subject of death altogether. And so if you say, as you are, I just don't want any old body coming back. I want the specific energy and relationship to return in a way that's obvious for me. Because, why? Why?
She was my very best experience of unconditional love.
Yes, which is possible with a lot of with any number of them. But I want this one because I want to show myself this eternal continuity that I've been trying to understand. I want to get a sense of the continuity in this eternal dance that we're all doing together. Good time for a segment of reflection.
Thank you.